So I decided maybe my vlogs needed to start now because I got a massive envelope from the hospital the other day, which made me realize just exactly how major this operation actually is, even though I put out the she'll be fine sort of outlook on things. But here is what I've had to do today. So I've got an envelope that I've got to send back to the pre-op people, and that was a 20-page questionnaire which asked me all about my medical history and all sorts of things. And I actually had to go back and look at my medical records to answer some of those questions because it goes back so far. So that was number one. Then I had one that came that I have to send back to occupational therapy. Now this one was interesting because on that one we had to measure a whole heap of things. So when I looked at that one, that's actually the scariest form that I've had so far, because if I just find it, hang on, I got all sorts of pictures on this form, and pictures of the height of your bed, the height of seats and toilets and all sorts of things. And we had to measure the length of the leg to the knee, the width of my bum when I'm sitting down, the height of the toilet, the height of the shower. I also had to answer all sorts of questions about whether I had raised toilet seats, whether I had an overframe for the toilets, whether I had rails, how many steps there are going into my house, front and back, and how high they are, whether there's a rail that goes with those steps, whether I've got a bath and a shower over the bath, the height of the step into the shower, even if it's just floor level. It asks me, do I have a bath board, a transfer bench, a shower stool, a raised toilet seat and over toilet frame. It also asks me the height of the bath to the floor and all sorts of things, how many steps in and out of my house, how high they are, and lots and questions about who will be here in the first week or so. So actually, even though I do live with Mark, my dear husband, he will actually be at work, so I'm not sure what happens there. I have actually heard from people that have had knee ops, this knee op before, that actually you need someone with you for the first week or two. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I guess I'll have to find that out closer to the time. Then I've got a dental clearance that I've got to get. So I've got to go to my dentist, and I have got to have had all necessary dental work completed. I've also got to have, let me see what else, written notification from my dentist stating I'm dentally fit for joint replacement surgery. So I've got to have dental clearance in writing, and it's got to be sent to the hospital as well. All of this stuff I've got to send back ASAP before they'll even put me on the list. Now, I thought dental clearance, that's really extreme, but apparently it says that when you have joint replacement surgery, that the infection from the mouth and teeth can get into the bloodstream and cause infections within the implant, and that's why I need dental clearance. Job number one for tomorrow morning. And then my last thing, I've got a big document. So this is like lengthy and comprehensive, and when I read it, it sounds quite scary. I'm sort of just going to put it over there and just like ignore it. So my next plan, from what I can gather from people that have had this before, I've been watching in various groups that I'm members of, and it seems that the more mobile, the fitter and healthier I am, the better it will be on the other end. Now, I've done this before with prehab, which was strengthening before an operation, and I actually went to the gym and did hefty weights before I had a medial meniscus debridement, and I was lifting the entire stack on the leg press machine, so that when I had to do the rehab afterwards, I hadn't lost as much muscle. So I'm going to have to give this some thought and write myself a fitness plan, because I need to get moving and keep the strength up in that leg, and perhaps even increase it if I can. So I'm gonna have to give that some thought. Also, I really do need to probably stick myself on a diet, which is really quite crap. But the way I'm thinking of it is the less the less I have to do later after surgery, because it seems that I will have to be immobile from cycling and swimming for 12 whole weeks. That's a long time to be sitting on my ass. And people that I'm talking to say that the first 3 or 4 weeks of absolutely doing nothing drives them insane. So I'm going to put out my plan for fitness and for diet, and any of my clients who want to join me on this journey. I'm putting this into the members group of our Riding to Health members group, so that people can join me and watch and follow on. Because actually, do you know what? I think you may be underestimating how major this surgery actually is. And so I think it will benefit a lot of people to see what I'm going through pre, and to see how it works, and to see whether it works post as well. So I'm going to keep this a really public journey, and I'm hoping to be able to stick my tripod and the camera in the hospital room and video the rehab and all that sort of thing as well. So keep an eye out, because I'm going to be making these regular and letting you keep track of my journey as we march on through. They reckon 16 weeks, 4 months or so. So we're looking maybe mid-October-ish, but who knows for sure until I actually get the date, and I'll only get actually 2 weeks notice of the date, so that's not so flash either. So keep an eye out, and I will keep you posted.